Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
Ouch! A moment later, the little lone wolf let out a loud howl, once again blasting through the cold forest and the earth. It commands the mortal wolves, residual ears, black wolves, six-toed wolves, purple-backed wolves and other alien wolf tribes under its command. They lead their elites respectively to block the ice crystal monster that is about to break through the intensive artillery fire. Fan wolf, Connor, black wolf, six-toed wolf, purple-backed wolf, etc., as the wolves under his command, are also the most elite among the wolves. No matter the growth potential, or murderousness and ferocity, it far exceeds that of a one-eyed wolf. With the 3 months of eating the pure blood food left by Su Lin, and the more than 10 days of fighting with the ice crystal monsters, these wolves under his command have grown extremely fast, as the most capable lieutenants of Little Lone Wolf, Fanlang and Connor have both reached level 23 or 4. The black wolf, six-toed wolf, purple-backed wolf, etc. have also exceeded level 20. Even in the bloody battle of life and death, he was breaking free from the shackles in his body. Bloody battle is the fastest way to improve your strength, bar none. It's just that the pure energy accumulated in the land of adventure was also rapidly consumed in this bloody battle. After all, in order to maintain the combat effectiveness and desire of the wolf pack, every time a group of ice crystal monsters is defeated, the little lone wolf will be given a batch of pure blood food as a reward. The consumption in these 10 days is already comparable to the consumption in the past 3 or 4 months. Even the bloody battles in the past few days have become more intense, so the little lone wolf has also distributed more pure energy. Because all the alien species in the wolf pack are improving by leaps and bounds in the bloody battle, this is also to allow them to quickly improve the strength of these alien species. It's just the pure blood food stored in the land of adventure. If it is consumed at such a rapid rate, I'm afraid it won't last long. After all, the further you go, the greater the amount of pure energy required for improvement. As the number of members killed in battle gradually increases, more rewards are needed to stabilize each member of the wolf pack. And after the ice crystal monster was hunted, it turned into a pile of broken ice on the spot, providing no harvest for the wolves at all. So if the battle continues like this, no matter how much reserves the wolves have, they will sooner or later be consumed by these ice crystal monsters. Roar, chirp, ouch, boom, da da da. At this time, the roar of ice crystal monsters, the roar of wolves, the chirping of birds, and the roars of various technological weapons are all intertwined together. Nowadays, the ice crystal monsters are charging more fiercely each time. If it were not assisted by various fortifications and various technological weapons built by the human race in the past, I am afraid that the defense line of the land of adventure would have been breached long ago. In terms of defensive capabilities, even in an era where strange beasts are rampant after the great changes in the world, humans are definitely the number one. Therefore, in order to protect one part of humanity, Little Lone Wolf personally led the other parts to kill all existences that broke through the fire blockade. The Little Lone Wolf has long lost its previous hostility towards this part of the human race that has shown its value. The strong go up, the mediocre go down. This has always been a tradition among the wolves. Now that humans have shown their value, in the eyes of the Little Lone Wolf, they are worthy of this protection. At this time, in the frenzied fight between the wolf pack and these ice crystal monsters, the Little Lone Wolf also dispatched a group of wolves and bird tribes to send back to the Wolf King the information that the land of adventure was under siege. After all, even it doesn't know how far this tragic offensive and defensive battle will go. If it really loses its territory, and loses the territory that the wolves have worked so hard for 2 or 3 years, it doesn't know how to explain it to the Wolf King. I'm afraid the only way to explain it is to die. So at this time, in the midst of these endless attacks by ice crystal monsters, the Little Lone Wolf's eyes were burning with extreme murderousness and ferocity. Ouch! Amidst the long and loud howling of the wolf, the increasingly powerful Little Lone Wolf also rushed forward like a gray-purple lightning, because it saw the upright ice crystal giant among the ice crystal monsters. This ice giant has a defense that can withstand even a human's technological killer weapon. So it rushed forward and started a bloody fight with the ice giant. At this time, the Rock Thunder Bird leading the Flying Bird clan in mid-air was also chirping to help. Call. The Rock Thunder Bird, which was already 50 or 60 meters in size, spit out a stream of flames that looked like magma. The flames swept past, and all the ice crystal monsters suddenly turned into a puddle of ice water. The Rock Thunder Bird also led the Asuka clan to kill like crazy. In addition, during the investigation of the high school during this period, it also discovered that wherever the ice crystal monster passed, it truly left no grass behind. Even within the 300-mile radius that the wolves had killed, many surviving species were found. These species are either captured alive or hunted, and then transported to the far north. And because there were not many living organisms found, these ice crystals also broke the ice, and many of them swarmed into the seawater, hunting various sea fish and large marine creatures in the Arctic Ocean. But after entering the sea water, the strength of the ice crystals was obviously severely limited. In addition, there are too many species in the sea, and there are also many terrifying beings with incredible combat power. Therefore, the damage to these ice crystals on the seabed was very great, but these ice crystals still entered the sea water, regardless of life and death. This makes this Arctic Ocean. From time to time, terrifying vibrations were heard in the sea area, and many ice layers were exploded by the vibrations. It seems that these ice crystal monsters are inexhaustible, even if they die one after another. More ice crystal monsters will soon come from the far north. Even if these ice crystal monsters are not strong, if they continue to kill like this, when will they be over? If it weren't for the fact that all the wolf pack troops stationed in the land of adventure were old members, who had followed the Wolf King for many years, if it weren't for the fact that the little lone wolf also has a strong prestige, if not for the fact that after defeating most of the ice crystal monsters, there is still a reward of pure blood food, if it weren't for the support of so many factors, I'm afraid the confidence of the wolf pack stationed in the place of adventure would have been shaken long ago. Even without the little lone wolf's orders, the Rock Thunderbird had already dispatched a group of birds to the wolf territory further south to ask for help from the Wolf King, because according to this situation, it is difficult for them to hold on for too long with their power, especially after the pure blood food stored by the wolf pack is completely consumed. I wonder if the wolf pack still has the confidence to persevere. In addition, in this brutal fight, the wolves, birds, and bears on the wolf frontline battlefield are also dying at a very fast rate, every day. Now after more than 10 days of bloody battles, basically half of the members have died. However, the rest have also evolved into alien species, so they can still support themselves. But as more and more of these ice crystal monsters come from the far north, I am afraid that the next fight will become more and more fierce. It doesn't take long to think that even the tenacious alien species will die one after another. But just as the Rock Thunderbird was thinking this way, a dense swarm of ice crystal monster birds suddenly flew from the distant mid-air. This ice crystal monster was extremely fast, and it didn't take long to get close to the battlefield. Then, with an aura that was fearless of death, it charged towards the flying bird clan led by the Rock Thunderbird. Chirp. This makes the Rock Ptarmigan chirp. It can be seen that many different guys have come from the far north. This caused it to activate a trace of the original power that had been transformed into its body, and its eyes began to be filled with traces of yellow fireworks. Then he spit out streams of more pure and hot flames from his mouth, and fought fiercely with these ice crystal monster birds in mid-air. Ice water splashed everywhere, flesh and blood flew everywhere. For a time, this area with the most resources and species deep in the Arctic ice sheet became the reaping ground of death. Now, both the Rock Thunderbird and the little lone wolf are hoping that the members sent out will pass on the news of the attack on the land of adventure to the Wolf King. What the Rock Thunderbird and the little lone wolf didn't know was that the number of these various ice crystal monsters far exceeded their imagination. On the ice, except for the ice crystal monsters in the direction of the land of adventure, the ice crystal monsters in other directions have already pushed all the way, rising 3 feet from the ground, and found countless species that struggled to survive on the Arctic ice sheet. Moreover, these ice crystal monsters were pushing forward so fast that they had surpassed the rescue members sent by Rock Thunderbird and Little Lone Wolf. Now the ice crystal monsters seemed to have received the signal and stopped pushing in other directions. They all surrounded the place where they encountered the adventure, hunting every living life form along the way. The rescue members sent out by Little Lone Wolf and Rock Thunderbird soon encountered this group of ice crystal monsters that surrounded them. Even if the dispatched are some elite wolves facing the endless ice crystal monsters and ice crystal birds, it means that there will no longer be a chance to convey the message. Time flies by so fast. A few days later, since there was no signal in the Arctic ice sheet and the endless ice crystal monsters surrounded them, no news was transmitted at all. The remaining 2 territories of the wolf pack had no news of the attack on the land of adventure. At this time, the Nanjing Mountains are still undergoing transformation. Sander, Vincent, Tiffany, etc. were all excited when they saw this amazing batch of supplies received. This batch of supplies is really too rich. With a food reserve of 30 million yuan, the Wolf King opened 6 more large caves for storage. And in order to prevent deterioration and loss, Solin left a lot of original power with icy air and several spiritual marks in each cave. With a food reserve of 30 million, plus a flesh and blood reserve of nearly 10 million, the current large wolf pack can avoid hunting for at least half a year. In addition, 800,000 top-level technological killing weapons can also enable the human part of the wolf pack to expand faster. Therefore, Su Lin was very satisfied with Vincent's negotiation this time and rewarded him with 10,000 kilograms of flesh and blood of the new species, as well as a branch of black-blooded daughter. Vincent was extremely grateful for such a shocking reward, and it also made many members of the Humanity Division jealous of this reward. After all, this is all part of king-level flesh and blood and king-level mutant creatures in human society. This is enough to drive the top new human beings crazy, but in the wolf pack, it is given to subordinates lightly. Therefore, many members of the first human race looked at such rewards with blazing flames in their eyes. He is also more actively integrating into the wolf pack in an attempt to gain recognition and promotion from the Wolf King. This makes the progress of the transformation of the entire southern mountain range, which stretches for thousands of miles. In the human part of the world, hundreds of thousands of humans and nearly 100,000 new. With the concerted efforts of humans and the help of the other 11 members of the wolf pack, they are improving rapidly. In addition, in the last large-scale reward for the entire wolf pack, many second wolves and the alpha wolf received enough pure blood food. Among them are the flesh and blood of new species, and the pine cones of king-level cedar, which contain extremely high amounts of pure energy. Therefore, during these 10 days of rest, the strength of many alien species has been steadily improving. Red tail, jackal, nighthawk, warm bear, red bird, flying leopard, divine owl, etc. have all entered the transformation stage of new species, and warm bear and divine owl are only one step away from complete transformation. As for the flying bird clan under Arctic Yanu, and the group of exotic beasts under Baidai, new species have been born one after another. The snow crows and poisonous doves under Arctic Yan's command broke through and became new species one after another. Both of them broke through and became alien species at level 32. The combat power is somewhat inferior to that of the older batch of king beasts. However, with the mysterious and unparalleled original power, his strength has been qualitatively improved compared to before, especially Poison Dove. With the 3 poisonous talents close by, whether in a group battle or a solo fight, he is a very fearful presence for other king beasts. Nowadays, the Asuka clan, with its 5 king beasts gathered together, is a very eye-catching clan among the wolves. The sables and scar-faced bears under Baidai also broke through and became new species. Sable is also a possessor of spiritual soul power, and has 3 major spiritual talents. Her combat power may not be as high as that of White Butterfly and Arctic Silver Fox, but it should not be underestimated. Sable also transformed into a new species at level 32. As a new spiritual species, as soon as it successfully transformed, it had a combat power that was not inferior to the veteran king beast of the wolf pack. The scar-faced bear is a new species at level 31, similar to the golden-striped lemmings that Su Lin encountered. The higher the level, the more powerful it is when it transforms into a new species. Moreover, once the higher-level alien species successfully transforms, the combat power bonus it will receive is also very incredible. For someone like the Scarface Bear, it's very difficult to level up on the new species path, and on the alien species path, there are currently more and more new species in the wolf pack, and their high-end combat power is growing rapidly. The previous batch of people who were the first to transform into new species also had their strength improved to a greater or lesser extent. Arctic Yanu has reached the late stage of level 36 and is not far from level 37. The 2 king beasts that Mihu conquered were also at level 34 and level 33. Together with Maiha's charm talent, even Arctic Yanu had to avoid the sharp edge. Black-blooded Cuscuta has officially reached level 38, and black-blooded Cuscuta also possesses vast energy and combat power that far exceeds that of the same level. The king bison reaches level 35. The most eye-catching thing is the invincible tiger. Relying on his monster potential and accumulation, he unexpectedly broke through another level and reached level 41. This level of promotion not only completely consumes the pure blood food and king-level cedar fruit that Selin rewarded, but also, even more than half of the hunting harvest in March was consumed. It can be seen from this that the higher the level, the higher the amount of pure energy required. However, the invincible tiger is now extremely powerful, and its size has reached more than 30 meters. The energy fluctuations rising all over its body are no longer inferior to that of the purple lynx. The current invincible tiger can be regarded as entering the ultimate king level according to human judgment standards, but in terms of combat power, the invincible tiger is still some distance away from the purple lynx. After all, the purple lynx has a spiritual talent, and it also possesses secret bones, so its combat power is extremely tyrannical. Nowadays, the improved combat power of each unit in the wolf pack also means that they have the confidence to survive better in the Dark Era. In addition, Su Lin also heard Vincent's report on the Dahu officials' request for help. The data about the ghost cat demon has also been passed on from Dahuo officials a long time ago. The energy intensity of the ghost cat demon fluctuates, reaching the ultimate king level, but the ghost cat demon prefers to attack and kill, and its frontal combat capability is worrying. Once the figure and traces are captured, even the indiscriminate bombardment from more than a dozen perfect level mecha warriors cannot be withstood. It's just that because it can completely hide its figure and aura at every turn, coming and going without a trace, Dahuo officials have no way to deal with the ghost cat demon. Looking at the data from Daluo officials, Su Lin had no intention of taking action personally, because these two ghost cat demons obviously do not possess the same heaven-defying secret skills as the purple lynx. Otherwise it would be absolutely impossible for them to be unable to resist even several perfect level mecha warriors. You must know that the secret technique cannot be calculated based on common sense at all. It is the power that comes with rules. The so-called technological meshes are nothing compared to the power of rules. Su Lin finally signaled the invincible tiger to lead the more than 300 heterogeneous tigers under his command, as well as the black rats and sables. The invincible tiger has now been promoted to the ultimate king level, and with more than 300 alien tigers under his command wearing first-class meshes, he is most suitable for beheading and hunting powerful alien beasts. Coupled with the sable, which has spiritual power, and the black rat, which has various curse-weakening talents, it is more than enough to deal with the two ghost cat monsters. In addition, Sable has a spiritual talent, which is spiritual light wave. Not only can it interfere with the spiritual will of species within a radius of dozens of miles, but it can also locate other species with the help of spiritual soul power. Therefore, this talent is perfect for searching and locating ghost cat monsters. The instructions given by Su Lin to the three of them were to conquer the ghost cat demon. Then he subdued. After all, the extreme king level beast that comes and goes without a trace can be regarded as an extremely powerful fighting force. Once he joins the wolf pack, he will be trained in the future and become a knife hidden in the dark for the wolf pack. But if you don't surrender, you can only kill, because whether it's Dahus' official reward or the pure flesh and blood of the two ghost cat demons, it's a good harvest. After receiving the order, the invincible tiger, Black Rat and Sable, all led by Vincent and a group of special forces, happily headed to the capital of Dahui. Now that the wolves have unified the Siberian plains, there is no longer much merit to be gained by staying in the wolf territory. When going to the capital of Dahui to hunt ghost cat monsters, although the danger and military exploits coexist, in the eyes of the invincible tigers, black rats, and sables, the military exploits outweigh the dangers because they all have confidence in their own strength. Coupled with the addition of more than 300 alien Siberian tigers wearing first-class meshes, such a lineup can compete with even half-step world-destroying alien beasts. After they and Vincent left the southern mountains again, Su Lin watched all 30 million tons of food being sealed into the cave, and then returned to the cave that the wolves had taken the lead in renovating. This is obviously the cave where he lived temporarily for a while. This cave is very spacious, with a height of several hundred meters. After Sanders' transformation, not only was an underground fortress built under the cave that could accommodate thousands of members, but the exterior of the cave was also rebuilt using the latest carbon block materials. Many permanent firepower points have also been built, equipped with high-tech killing weapons such as super ion cannons, shaped laser rays, and shaped incendiary bombs. The inside of the cave was newly decorated, and the angular rocks were polished and transformed into a cottage-like appearance. Originally, Sander planned to transform the interior into a luxurious palace, but Su Lin refused, because it is a bit flashy for him and the various species of the wolf pack. The wolves emerge step by step from the cruel Arctic ice fields. It is normal for them to eat their hair, drink their blood, and sleep in the open air. And sometimes the life is too luxurious and comfortable, which will wear away the murderous and ferocious nature that the wolves have finally brought out. So now that the cave has been renovated, Su Lin is very satisfied. After returning to the cave, he came to the place where the flesh and blood of the new species was stored. During this period, half of the new species of flesh and blood that the wolves hunted on the Siberian plains were sent here. There are many new species among them, which Su Lin has never eaten before. He planned to eat some of these new species with different genetic fragments, and then try again to use the remaining plant elves to attack the third genetic barrier. The last time he ate 1/3 of the plant elves, Su Lin was promoted to 2 levels in a row and touched the genetic barrier. This time, after devouring the genetic fragments of these new species, and then relying on the power of the remaining plant elves. I wonder if we can break through the third genetic barrier, because it's not long before the mysterious power between heaven and earth completely disappears, and the dark era of all races fighting for hegemony is coming. At that time, the trendsetters, who were decisive in killing and standing at the top of the era, would turn the entire world into a blood-stained world. The bloodthirsty python, the human skin giant tree, the fast golden eagle, etc. Judging from the data shown so far, no one is easy to deal with. They are all the darlings who came into being in this era and have received countless adventures. So if he really wants to suppress the current world, Solin must break through the third genetic transformation. Devouring all things and genetic transformation are his strongest trump cards. In this mood, Solin did not hesitate. After using an evolution potion, he started eating heavily. The flesh and blood of the new species are mellow and delicious. Even some of them are giant scorpions and poisonous toads that are full of venom. Even the pure energy contained in the flesh and venom of these giant scorpions and poisonous toads is more than that of other new species. It's just that the venom is so toxic that even if the giant scorpions and poisonous toads are already dead, they are still extremely toxic, making it impossible for other species to eat. But these poisons are nothing to Su Lin, not to mention having a talent for healing that is invulnerable to all poisons. Solin's current strong physique alone is enough to withstand these poisons. One of the poisonous toads was more than 20 meters tall and was definitely an extremely powerful being in life. In the last bloodbath, the invincible tiger, the king-level bison, the red tail, the charming fox and the two captured king beasts all worked together to kill the poisonous toad. Su Lin dissembled the poisonous toad, and at a glance he saw the essence of the poisonous toad that was glowing with faint fluorescence. The pure part of the toad is the heart, which is a very common essence part. However, it is obvious that the pure energy and talent essence in the toad's essential part have been almost gone, and only a few bits and pieces remain. But Su Lin still swallowed the essence part directly into his belly. Toad's heart is tender, smooth and refreshing, with a hint of medicinal astringency. After swallowing it into the belly, it quickly turned into billowing pure energy and poured into the wolf's body, limbs and bones. A light gray message prompt also appeared in front of me. Ding! Congratulations to the host for eating the essence of the poisonous toad and gaining 800,000 evolution points. Ding! Congratulations to the host for extracting. Obtain a talent serum, defective product from the remaining talent essence of the poisonous pattern toad's essence part. Ding! Congratulations to the host for eating a new species, the poisonous toad, and gaining an additional 2,000 evolution points. Seeing that only a defective talent serum was extracted from the poisonous toad's essence, Solin's expression did not change. After all, the talent essence has been lost for too long. If it weren't for the talent essence of the new species, I might not even be able to purify a defective talent serum. At the same time, Su Lin also knew in his heart that in the future, he would need to notify the alien species in each department of the wolf pack. If any alien species above level 10 were hunted in the future, they could eat their essence parts on the spot without bringing them back to the wolves. Otherwise, even if it is brought back, a lot of the most important talent essence will be lost. As for how to find the essential parts, I guess I don't need too many instructions from Su Lin, because all members of the wolf pack have an extremely keen sense of smell. They should be able to smell the mellow and alluring scent of the essential parts. Human beings may be inferior to other animals in terms of senses. However, with the help of technological detection, it is still easy to find the most pure energy in the body of the alien beast. Next, after eating the essence of the poisonous toad, Solin continued to bite off large pieces of flesh and blood from the poisonous toad and ate it. The poison contained in these flesh and blood is also directly evaporated into wisps of gas during the passive operation of the healing talent. While eating, time also passes quietly. Solin's mental and soul power became more and more powerful as he was promoted several times, especially after devouring all the purple link's spiritual soul power, life source, etc. into the black square seal fragments. The intensity of the spiritual soul power has also increased to several levels. Now, even without using the power of the wolf body, relying solely on the vast spiritual power, it is not inferior to any world-destroying beast. The last time, it was only because I had no defense that my consciousness was briefly diluted by the pure grass energy contained in the grass elves. At this time, Solin mobilized all his mind and original power, and began to eat the plant elves. The plant elves that had turned into energy liquid were divided into a small part by spiritual power. The vast energy in the energy liquid transformed by the plant elves is self-evident, and only a small part of it is comparable to hundreds of thousands of kilograms of flesh and blood of the new species. This energy liquid has an extremely sweet and fragrant taste, Just like last time, it goes straight to the top of the brain as soon as it enters the mouth. Fortunately, he mobilized all his mind and spirit in advance, and this time the fragrance did not affect Su Lin. At this time, there was still only this sweet and refreshing taste left in my mind and taste buds, as if every cell in my body was open, swimming in this sweet and refreshing fragrance. This ecstatic feeling lasted for a long time. This feeling gradually dissipated after the energy liquid of the plant elves flowed into the belly, and was turned into billowing pure energy and evolutionary values by the force of devouring it. Then, messages about the evolution value popped up one after another. Congratulations to the host for eating plant elves and obtaining 1,852 evolutionary essences. Congratulations to the host for eating plant elves and obtaining 1,851 evolutionary essences. Even just a small amount of the plant elves liquid instantly provided Selin with a massive amount of evolutionary essence. As a result, he broke through the promotion threshold and is still heading towards level 33. At this moment, feeling the pure energy surging through the wolf's body, limbs and bones, Selin immediately sank into his mind and began to activate his original power to absorb this pure energy. At the same time, he guided the vast pure energy converted from the plant elves in his body to start impacting the third genetic barrier. Boom! A dull crashing sound resounded within the wolf's body. It's just that the third genetic barrier was so thick that it was unimaginable. Although the energy of the separated plant elves was not dangerous, it also lacked the vast energy of manic agitation. Therefore, after circulating his original power for a moment, Selin made a determined decision and swallowed most of the plant elves floating in front of him. Last time, Selin held onto the vast energy contained in 1/3 of the plant elves. Now he has been promoted to 2 levels compared to before, and the energy limit that the wolf body can carry is stronger, so he eats more this time than last time. As soon as these plant elves entered the belly, they were converted into evolutionary values and pure energy by the mysterious power of devouring. Vast pure energy surged through the wolf's body and limbs instantly, like a stormy sea. In an instant, Selin's wolf body became a world unique to this vast energy. The essence of vegetation was like a sea of tide, infecting the blood in the wolf's body into green. Under the impact of this vast energy, the originally indestructible wolf body expanded again like a ball. But this time, with preparations in advance, Su Lin directly activated his healing talent, powerful energy, blood and original power, especially the power of the source. The pure energy that surged wantonly during the far rotation was also greedily and quickly absorbed by the power of the source. In this way, the efficiency of active absorption and the amplification effect of the original power are far greater than the last passive absorption. It's just that even with the sharing of the original power, this pure energy is still too vast. The blazing emerald energy filled all the meridians in Selin Wolf's body, limbs and bones, and many of the meridians were cracked by force. If the healing talent hadn't been repairing at a speed of more than 10,000 times, I am afraid that all the meridians in the wolf's body would have collapsed under the impact of this vast energy. At this time, Su Lin was multitasking, not only supporting the pain of the pure energy in the wolf body, but also guiding this vast energy towards the third genetic barrier. Boom! Under the violent impact inside his body, Su Lin's internal organs seemed to have been severely damaged. Many organs exploded instantly, and the cracks in the skin and flesh also increased instantly. The dense cracks made it look like fragile porcelain, easily broken at the slightest touch. Blood is also spilling out in all directions without money. But there was a fascinating light flashing in Su Linlang's eyes, and he did not fear or flinch at all, because this kind of trauma and pain is still within the tolerable and bearable range, and has not yet reached the limit. There are very few things in this world that you can get without paying. What's more, it's strength. In order to gain strength, whether it is Selin or other species, they need to climb up step by step. Is there any smooth path? Even a beast with incredible potential like the charming fox still needs to hone its skills on the bloody battlefield to get the chance to break free from the shackles of the body again and again. He even suffered from the original trauma. If not for the reward given some time ago, Selin used his original power and a trace of plant elf energy to help it recover. Thinking about the original trauma alone, it would take a long time to recover, so there is no turning back when the bow is fired. Su Lin can't give up. He has devoured most of the plant elves, so he clearly wants to use this manic and vast pure energy to break open this heavy genetic barrier. Otherwise, just by relying on gentle shocks one after another, if you want to break through this extremely heavy genetic barrier, you don't know what it will be like in the year of the monkey and the month of the horse. Therefore, Su Lin continued to guide the vast energy fluctuations in his body with a determined expression, attacking the genetic barrier in his body. Boom! The dull sound of vibration in the wolf's body sounded again. Under the impact of the restless and vast pure energy, the thick genetic barriers are also shaking. It's just that every impact brings extremely terrifying trauma to Selin. If it weren't for his extremely heaven-defying healing talent, and the mysterious evolutionary energy that came down to repair Selin's wolf body, I'm afraid he wouldn't have been able to hold on long ago. Break it open for me. At this moment, feeling the nourishment of mysterious evolutionary energy, Selin was ready to give it a try. Guiding the vast pure energy, he began to continuously attack this thick genetic barrier again and again. The wolf's mouth was overflowing with blood, but he still gritted his teeth and persisted. Even after feeling that the pure energy in his body was somewhat reduced, he ate all the remaining spirit of the plants and trees in front of him into his belly. The billowing energy instantly expanded to an extreme again. Bang! Many meridians, even those with healing talents and mysterious evolutionary energy, exploded directly under the impact of the vast energy. The essence of emerald green vegetation was also revealed from the cracks in the Selin wolves. In the dark cave, the nearly 60-meter-long Selin wolf's body glowed with emerald green light, illuminating the entire cave. The dull impact of the vast pure energy in the body and the sound of the meridians and flesh exploding could be heard from time to time in the cave. This sound lasted for a long time in the cave. Even if they want to enter the cave and report to the Wolf King about the completion time of the southern mountains and the recent expansion of the wolf pack, Sander and Red Tail feel the spiritual marks left by the Wolf King at the entrance of the cave and the vast energy in the cave. After the fluctuation, no one dared to disturb the Wolf King at all, and squatted at the entrance of the cave and became consciously alert. The time passed directly from the sun hanging high at noon to the dark night, and the fluctuations of the vast energy in the cave gradually weakened. At the same time, starting from noon, there was a strong scent of grass and tree essences in the cave, overflowing. Red Tail, Sander, the escorting Nighthawk and other strange beasts, sniffed the essence of vegetation and absorbed it at the entrance of the cave. Because the breath that spreads out is pure energy, that is not inferior to the flesh and blood of ordinary new species. Even this is easier to absorb and convert than the flesh and blood of new species. The overflowing aura lasted for a long time, and it wasn't until the next day, when it was a bit dim, that the pure aura of grass and trees gradually dissipated. At this time, Su Lin in the cave had absorbed most of the energy from the plant elves. It's just that the vast energy was continuously directed to impact the genetic barrier, causing the organs, skin, flesh, and meridians all over the body to almost completely explode. Fortunately, with its incredible healing talent and mysterious evolutionary energy, it has been repaired again. The large amount of blood flowing out from the explosion of skin, organs, and meridians has turned into thick blood scabs, covering Selin's wolf body. Su Lin, covered with thick blood scabs, was still absorbing the pure energy in his body. This originally vast energy has become docile and thin as time goes by, without the power that was like a nuclear explosion at the beginning. It took more than an hour. When the pure energy in the wolf body was completely absorbed, Su Lin suddenly opened a pair of wolf eyes, and the soul-stirring silver fluorescence burst out instantly, and then slowly moved his body. Crack! There was a shattering sound, and the thick blood scab on Selin's body cracked. After this layer of blood scab fell off, the wolf's body, repaired by the mysterious energy and healing talent, seemed to be shining with a faint silver light. Selin completely absorbed the vast pure energy contained in the plant elves. This massive amount of pure energy caused the 9 silver moons behind him to grow to 3/4 of the size. The truly flawless 9-round full moon is not far away. At the same time, the extremely thick genetic barrier in the body, although it was continuously impacted, was not completely broken, but there were several cracks. If there is another energy that can match the vastness of the grass elves, it can definitely break through this genetic barrier. Su Lin was not discouraged, because the thicker the genetic barrier, it means that once the transformation is successful, the greater the strength improvement will be. In addition to the improvement of original power, and the achievements of breaking through genetic barriers, what made him most happy and satisfied was that he completely devoured the grass and wood elves. With the huge evolution value obtained, he actually broke through 1 level again and reached level 33, another 2-level promotion. You must know that the further you go, the more terrifying the increase in combat power will be with each level. Now, after advancing 2 levels in a row, Su Lin's wolf body has grown to 75 or 6 meters. In addition to the wolf body, the limbs, fangs, claws, etc., have also been greatly enhanced, especially the fangs that have broken the limit. With their bloodthirsty passive effects and unparalleled biting power, they are a surefire kill once used. Congratulations on your successful promotion to level 33. Congratulations on your new talent, Curse. At this time, the light gray message prompt flashes away. After this news, the latest attribute page also appeared in front of you. Name, Su Lin. Species, New Howling Moon Silver Wolf. Gene level, E, in Metamorphosis. Level 33. Upgrading requires 2 million evolutionary essences. Chi in blood, 57,950. Stamina, 3,590. Strength, 3,660. Defense, 3,420. Speed, 5,560. Extra attribute points, 450. Evolution essence, 272,536 ways. Talents, Curse, B level. Concealment, B level. Judgment, S level. Hunting, S level. Healing, S level. Serious Roaring Moon, SS level. Bright Protection, SS level. Soul Link, SS level. Secret Technique, Jing Xiao Gong, Elegy of the Soul. Su Lin's strength improvement this time has made all attributes reach more than 60 levels of ordinary aliens. Especially the attribute of speed is unparalleled in the world. After adding the additional attribute value to the speed attribute column again, Su Lin's speed will reach 2,560 meters per second. In addition, defense, strength and physical strength have also reached a terrifying level. Once Hare enters a defensive state, it will be difficult to break through Su Lin's defense, based on humanity's current technological killing weapons. This is true even for the so-called ultimate armor and the real nuclear explosion. With this breakthrough, Su Lin's strength has been unprecedentedly improved. After the light gray attribute panel in front of me gradually disappeared, I thought about the latest Curse talent. Curse, B level, upgradable, active talent. After turning it on, your own 10-mile range will enter the Curse range, and you can control the power of the curse and weaken your opponents. The weakened attributes include health value, defense value, endurance value, and strength value, but do not include spiritual soul power and original power. The longer the curse lasts, the more powerful it becomes. Duration, 1 hour. Cooling time, 24 hours. Note: forcibly turning on this talent during the cooling time will deduct a large amount of blood and stamina. Seeing this new talent, Su Lin couldn't help but his eyes lit up. The curse talent is similar to the death hymn of the fox wolf, both of which can weaken the comprehensive attributes. However, Su Lin's curse talent is not a single consumption type, but a range and continuous one. Now the B-level curse talent has a coverage area of 10 miles, which is definitely an exaggeration among B-level talents. So Su Lin wanted to see how powerful the coverage and effect would be once it was upgraded to S level or above. In this thought, Su Lin did not hesitate, and took out the remaining dozens of gift serums one by one. Ding! Do you want to use the talent serum? Use? In the light gray message prompt, the warmth brought by the talent serum quickly began to flow through the wolf's body, limbs and bones, because all of Su Lin's talents have been promoted to the top level. Therefore, there were no surprises at all in the enhancement. Soon after the warm current of the talent serum was completely absorbed, the enhanced curse talent introduction appeared in front of his eyes. The B-level curse talent has a coverage area of 20 miles and a duration that has been extended to 2 hours. In group battles, such a group-wide weakening talent can be called a real killer. After level 1, there is a new feature, which is the Cursed Poisonous Mist. This Cursed Poisonous Mist can act on the spiritual and soul power. This means that facing spiritual species, the curse talent can also show great restraint. Seeing such an improvement in his curse talent, Su Lin couldn't help but feel a little happy. At present, he already has 8 major talents and more than 30 talent serums, which are enough to enhance the curse talent to S level. By then, he will have 7 S level and above talents and the elusive hidden talent, which is definitely unique among alien beasts. Looking at all the alien and new species encountered before, there is no alien beast that can compare. These talents will also become Su Lin's strong support in the Dark Era and against the evil mutant creatures who stand at the top of the era. In this thought, he did not hesitate and continued to concentrate on strengthening the curse talent. Ding! Do you want to use the talent serum? Use? The light gray news appeared in front of him again, and the warm current of talent serum once again traveled through the wolf's body, limbs and bones. At this time, while Su Lin was silently strengthening his talent in the cave, human society once again set off a large-scale public uproar, because the spacecraft that can allow humans to sail in outer space for a long time finally overcame several difficulties within a few months and built the first one. Today is the day when the first spaceship carries a batch of seeds of human civilization and prepares to fly to outer space for a trial voyage. Nowadays, due to the turbulent current situation, most human beings are hiding in the shelters they have built and dare not go out. Even the strongest among the new humans still did not dare to travel long distances to watch the event. Because there are countless powerful mutant creatures, they are always watching and hunting the strong ones among the new humans. During this period of time, According to incomplete statistics, hundreds of new human warriors wearing perfect level armor died. There are countless other strong new humans, so most of them came to the internet to watch the first spaceship carrying humankind's hope take off. This makes the network that few people pay attention to become popular again. However, due to the lack of maintenance personnel, the satellite networks among the major forces have become much worse. Nowadays, when all human beings are swarming to watch, the network is directly paralyzed in many areas with poor signal, resulting in a lot of yelling and cursing. Some areas with better signals were not greatly affected. At this time, in the online live broadcast, many people looked at this spaceship with a hull of 700 or 800 meters, and they all commented and lamented the rapid development of technology. Because a few years ago, the so-called spacecraft was only a few cubic meters, and it could not survive completely away from the Earth. But now such a huge spaceship has emerged as the times require, and many people even say that it can already be called a space battleship. This is the crystallization of the wisdom of many top scientists. Oh, representative spokesperson, congratulations on the first space battleship's trial voyage. The Science Alliance has once again made unprecedented contributions to mankind. Long live science and mankind forever. Dahui Donaldson, congratulations. I hope the spacecraft can make a successful trial, and I also hope that when the spacecraft returns in the next few decades, the Earth will still be the Earth of mankind. Andrea, the strongest person in Beizhu, congratulations. The human race, Mei Yongchang, mankind's first space battleship is on trial. With the advancement of science and technology in the future, our human civilization will inevitably enter the space age. Sakurajima Demon Ninja number 7, congratulations too. But I would like to ask why there is no place for my Sakurajima on the Science Alliance spaceship, and the Noah's Ark built. Do you know what kind of situation we are facing now? Taocean, the sea water has submerged most of the island. If science really abandons us, don't blame us for abandoning science in the end. Many comments were posted online, most of which were messages celebrating the successful construction of the spacecraft. But there are also some discordant remarks, most of which are about trying to win some seats on Noah's Ark and spaceships. After all, as the end of the world gradually approaches, all forces are working hard to survive, especially a small and medium-sized force like Sakura Island. Many of these forces are in the Scientific Alliance and the Theological Alliance. They are wavering between the two, and they want to move between the two parties to obtain greater benefits. But this behavior is tantamount to playing with fire. In the face of the real apocalypse, no alliance will want a wavering ally. Therefore, as the end is getting closer and closer, the forces on Sakura Island have become the common outcasts of both the Theological Alliance and the Scientific Alliance. The Science Alliance did not allocate a position in Noah's Ark and spaceship to Sakura Island at all. Even many underground Great Walls, the strongest fortresses, and other doomsday refuges have no place in Sakura Island. This makes Sakura Island, which is already located on an island with little depth and resources, anxious. Not only is he actually always on the phone and contacting major forces, but he is also posting about his miserable situation all over the internet. However, all the major forces and scientific alliances chose to ignore this statement. At this time, the speeches of Sakurajima and the major forces have stirred up a lot of public opinion on the internet, but the focus of more people's attention is still the departure of the spaceship. Under the fortress of the Science Alliance headquarters, the huge spaceship is ready for takeoff. All high-end storage boxes containing frozen genetic chains of various species on Earth were transported to the spacecraft. Dozens of humans selected from major forces around the world also greeted the people watching on the entire network in front of the camera. After a final affectionate farewell, these humans slowly boarded the spacecraft. But just when nearly billions of people around the world were watching this live broadcast, just when this nuclear-powered spacecraft had slowly taken off and reached an altitude of several thousand meters, suddenly, there was a huge cry in the sky. It is impossible to describe what kind of powerful sound fluctuation this was, but it swept hundreds of miles in mid-air in an instant. The white clouds collapsed and the sound waves soared into the sky. Boom! Even the hull of the huge spaceship shook violently. Fortunately, the spacecraft's built-in defense system was activated by the violent impact, and the entire periphery of the spacecraft flashed with intense fluorescence. If Celine saw this fluorescence, he would find that the fluorescence effect is almost the same as the purple link's mental barrier talent. They are all defensive fluorescence that can convert attack fluctuations and attack energy into a source of protective power. This defensive fluorescence was apparently harvested by the Science Alliance from the secret bones of an extreme king beast it killed, and was equipped on this spaceship after various modifications. The Science Alliance's research on mutated organisms is at the forefront of all mankind. After countless experimental studies, it has long discovered the secret of the secret bone, but I'm afraid even Su Lin and many evil mutated creatures have not yet. I once thought that the scientific and technological means of the Science Alliance would be able to utilize and transform secret bones. Amazing skills. No wonder the Science Alliance and the major forces are still able to stabilize their position as the hegemon of the human world in such a turbulent and troubled world. It can be seen that the hidden cards of the Science Alliance and the major forces probably go far beyond the so-called ultimate armor and genetic modification that are revealed on the surface. But no matter how many hidden cards there are, even if we are still at the headquarters of the Science Alliance, at this moment, feeling the monstrous roar and the extremely powerful aura, the faces of the senior executives of the major scientific alliances, who were still watching the spaceship, showed expressions of uncontrollable horror. Super fast golden eagle. This is the fast golden eagle that once slaughtered the country. He is the undisputed strongest king in the air. No wonder even the most sophisticated radar monitoring at their Science Alliance headquarters failed to respond, and even the most powerful ballistic missiles were breached here before they had time to take action. World-destroying birds and beasts. Even after the fight with the terrifying crocodile some time ago, the Science Alliance had long suspected that the speed of the Golden Eagle had broken through to the upper world-destroying level. Otherwise, how could it be possible to hunt down a world-destroying alien beast alive on its home turf and terror crocodile? So at this moment, after a brief shock, many senior officials of the Science Alliance fled towards the headquarters fortress behind them. At the same time, he had already instructed the entire Science Alliance headquarters fortress to enter emergency wartime equipment through the communication equipment on his body. All the ultimate meshes were dispatched, and most of the genetically modified warriors gathered in a swarm, including many trump cards of the Science Alliance, all of which were mobilized at this moment. And the giant spaceship in the sky also received instructions, activated its strongest defense, and continued to soar into space, because it is their mission to preserve the seeds of human civilization, and all actions will serve this mission. Now the entire Science Alliance headquarters is in chaos. This has never happened before, because this is the headquarters of the Science Alliance, the place with the most cutting-edge technology and the largest number of lethal weapons in all mankind. But today it happened in front of almost all mankind live broadcast, even though the entire Science Alliance had reacted very quickly. In this short period of time, accompanied by that roaring cry, the fast golden eagle with a wingspan of 400 to 500 meters appeared in the sky. Bang! The sharp claws of the fast golden eagle hit the spaceship hard, causing the energy light wave to flash at extremely fast speeds. Even though this secret bone had been modified countless times by the Science Alliance, and even had multiple nuclear sources installed as energy reserves, it was still almost shattered in this collision. Everything has a limit. Even this protective shield modified from secret bones is the same. The ability to absorb attack power, and power has no effect at all under the unparalleled attack power of the fast golden eagle. Fortunately, this spacecraft was originally built to deal with various situations in outer space. Although the ship carries fewer firepower and killing weapons, its protective power is definitely top-notch. Even though he resisted several heavy blows from the fast golden eagle, he never fell from mid-air. He was even resisting this attack and continued to fly into the sky, trying to escape through the atmosphere and escape the attack of the fast golden eagle. After all, no matter how powerful the speedy golden eagle is, it is impossible to escape from the Earth even if you think about it. At this time, many ultimate mecha warriors and perfect level mecha warriors, and countless super ion rapid fire cannons also locked onto the speedy golden eagle. One after another, they launched dense firepower nets towards the speedy golden eagle, preventing the speedy golden eagle from continuing to pursue the spacecraft. Boom, boom, boom. With streaks of fire and cannonballs at 10 times the speed of supersonic speed, they fired towards the speedy golden eagle with the power to destroy the world. These are the most cutting-edge technological weapons in today's era. Once locked, even the ultimate king level will suffer heavy losses. But the speedy golden eagle is not the ultimate king. It is the most powerful mutant bird in the world today, bar none. Ming! Another roaring cry exploded in the sky. The huge sound wave instantly destroyed all kinds of artillery shells fired at it in the air, causing an altitude of thousands of meters to instantly turn into a sea of fire. Countless perfect level mecha warriors swooped away and were affected. The killing range of air blast is the widest, especially since this is a super ion cannon with a lot of extreme damage. So even the strong protection of the perfect mecha has been penetrated. Many perfect level mecha warriors were severely damaged. Only a dozen ultimate mecha warriors rushed out of the explosion wave and continued to attack the fast golden eagle. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The strongest penetrating rays on many ultimate meshes are heading towards the fast golden eagle. But the speedy golden eagle didn't care about these penetrating rays at all. Its huge golden wings shook, and a burst of golden light completely offset these penetrating rays. Then the fast golden eagle continued to chase the spaceship that took off. But in order to preserve the fire of human civilization, more than a dozen ultimate mecha warriors also turned on their extreme state, operating all the nuclear sources in the mecha to their peak, and continued to charge towards the fast golden eagle. War. All the ultimate mecha warriors are also full of fighting spirit. Those wearing the ultimate mecha are the strongest genetically modified warriors. After modification, they can all fight against king-level mutant creatures. Now wearing the most powerful ultimate armor, his combat power is even greater. The king-level mutant creatures around the Science Alliance headquarters also died in their hands. And after they have been genetically modified, they will not have much time to survive in the world, so everyone has the belief that they will die when they rush towards the fast golden eagle. When the speedy golden eagle began to collide with the spaceship again, a dozen ultimate mecha warriors, who had activated their ultimate state, also rushed over and fought with the speedy golden eagle. The ultimate mecha warrior and the fast golden eagle, who have always been on the surface as mankind's strongest trump card, have just come into contact with each other, and the fierce battle between the two sides has instantly heated up. Countless cannonballs, laser rays, and the golden light bursting out from the fast golden eagle are intertwined. The roar of the sky and the roar of artillery shells and rays were also heard at an altitude of tens of thousands of meters, and the live broadcast signal at the scene became intermittent when disturbed by such strong energy fluctuations. This made people watching in front of various network devices express their own exclamations. Speed golden eagle. Oh my god, what's going on? The Theological Alliance is really the mortal enemy of us humans. Even if we humans send a batch of fire, won't it work? Do we have to kill them all? Damn, it's the speedy golden eagle again. It's this strange beast again. The speedy golden eagle and the bloodthirsty python are definitely the biggest mortal enemies in human history. The speedy golden eagle has become stronger again after hunting down the terrifying crocodile. With its huge wings spread out, it can already reach a height of 500 to 600 meters. The birth of such a bird and beast with air superiority and super speed is really a miracle. Do you want to kill me as a human being? The last time the speedy golden eagle company hunted was terrifying. The blood-red fluorescence had not been used when the crocodile was there, and it was obvious that it was not using all its strength. It was very likely that it was not trying to destroy the spacecraft directly, but just wanting to intercept it. This is the result of many top scientists from the Science Alliance. I am afraid that the Theological Alliance not only wants to destroy the Human Fire Project, but also wants to steal this result. At this time, in the fierce battle between the speedy golden eagle and more than a dozen ultimate mecha warriors, various opinions are flying on the internet. Sorry, it's too late to update. This chapter was temporarily coded by mobile phone. I will make it up tomorrow. While there was a lot of discussion on the internet, the speedy golden eagle, who was entangled by the ultimate mecha warrior, was completely angry. The originally golden fluorescence began to burst out with traces of blood red color. The majestic appearance is breathtaking, and the slightly raised phoenix crown on the head of the golden eagle is also shining with blood red color. After mobilizing the real combat power, the air around it trembled, and the unparalleled aura spread for 200 to 300 miles. This aura was so strong that even the many Science Alliance executives, who had fled back to the headquarters fortress, couldn't help but feel shocked, because at this moment, the life and energy fluctuations of the speedy golden eagle on the most sophisticated detection equipment at the headquarters have exceeded the limit. You must know that the most sophisticated detection instruments at the Science Alliance headquarters can accurately detect the level of world-destroying alien beasts. Now that it has exceeded the limit, it means that the speedy golden eagle is not a possibility as everyone speculated, but has definitely broken through to the upper world-destroying level. If you look at the world-destroying level, there are only a few of them. This is a truly powerful existence, enough to rival the gods. The outside world may not be aware of the scene of a bloodthirsty python devouring Buddhas in India, but the Science Alliance knows it best. The divine substances in many temples in Tianian Kingdom are so rich that it is unimaginable. They all revive, just like gods and Buddhas coming to the world. But the bloodthirsty python was still killed, and went crazy, and swallowed them all alive into the snake's belly. At that time, the energy and life fluctuations of the bloodthirsty python were nothing more than this. Therefore, looking at such powerful energy and life fluctuations on the detection equipment, many senior officials at the Science Alliance headquarters no longer have the confidence that they could rely on the ultimate mecha warriors to check and balance the fast golden eagle. After a few quick conversations, it was decided to release all the remaining 20 ultimate meshes that had been hidden to join the battle, and all the divine concentrated rays created using divine substances and cutting-edge science and technology have been activated. At this moment, the hidden human backhands were revealed one by one. The speed of the golden eagle in mid-air is so powerful that it dominates the world. This is the invincible bird that has been famous since the great change in the world, facing more and more ultimate mecha warriors attacking and killing. It shows no fear at all. The pair of eyes that began to glow with blood-red light suddenly shot out two blazing divine lights, as if cutting through the sky, splitting apart the three ultimate mecha warriors charging towards it. In an instant, the powerful genetically modified warrior wearing the ultimate mecha was directly dissolved under this divine light, leaving not even a rain of blood behind. All the pure energy formed by the dissolution rushed towards the speedy golden eagle, replenishing its consumption in this battle. Three ultimate mecha warriors were killed, and the speedy golden eagle was also hit by several divine rays and ultimate mecha charged cannons. The wings vibrated, and dozens of golden feathers that were several meters long fell down, and blood glowing with golden fluorescence flowed out. But faced with such minor injuries, the speedy golden eagle didn't care at all. It looked up again at the increasing speed of the spacecraft in the sky, and found that the spacecraft had entered the atmosphere and began to leave the Earth. Knowing that it could no longer stop the spaceship, the speedy golden eagle chirped unwillingly, and once again set off a huge sound wave. After the rolling sound waves briefly blocked dozens of ultimate mecha warriors rushing toward it, they left the battlefield with world-shattering speed. The speed of the golden eagle in the sky is beyond the reach of all human technology. Therefore, after the speedy golden eagle escaped, the more than 30 surviving ultimate mecha warriors also stopped in mid-air and did not pursue them. Only a few ultimate mecha warriors still fired several supersonic tracking bombs in an attempt to inflict more trauma on the speedy golden eagle. It's just that even the speed of the tracking bullet can't catch up with the speed of the golden eagle. But just after the speedy golden eagle left the battlefield and distanced itself, it did not leave immediately. Instead, he looked up at the sky. Those blood-red eyes seemed to be able to see through the sky and the Earth at a glance. Looking at the spacecraft that had entered the atmosphere and became small and invisible, the Science Alliance, which has mobilized the star chain to lock and monitor the speedy golden eagle, does not know why the speedy golden eagle stopped inexplicably. However, since the speedy golden eagle has not yet left the 100-kilometer range of the Science Alliance, the divine rays turned on by the headquarters and the many ultimate mecha warriors are still in a tight formation and do not dare to relax for a moment. After all, the distance of 100 kilometers may not be a short journey for other king beasts or even world-destroying mutated creatures, but for the three speedy world-destroying beasts, the golden eagle, the Arctic wolf king, and the American cheetah, it wouldn't take long at all. Therefore, the Science Alliance simply did not dare to let down its vigilance. What the Science Alliance didn't know was that, when the spaceship, which carried the efforts of all their top scientists and the hope of all mankind, was soaring at an extremely fast speed, an indescribable whisper could be heard faintly in the sky and the Earth. It's just that this whisper is like a breeze, making all species feel like they are in an illusion. Only the monsters who stood at the top of the era seemed to feel something at this moment, and they all looked up to the sky. In the country of India, a bloodthirsty python is entrenched on the top of the sacred mountain, the largest temple. The energy fluctuations and aura naturally revealed all over its body seemed to have exceeded the limits of this world. The scales on his body were as black as ink, extremely smooth, exuding a faint light. At this time the black and red fluorescence on his body is fused with this Buddhist sacred mountain, smelting the vast divine substances in it. But at this moment, it suddenly felt something. A bright black-red divine light instantly burst out from those huge eyes. Standing upright with a snake body that was 800 to 900 meters long, and looking up at the sky. Immediately afterwards, a roar sounded in the area. Hiss. It was just an ordinary neighing sound, but it seemed that the space for dozens of miles around was shaking, and even the Buddhist sacred mountain was shaking. This ordinary neighing sound is countless times more powerful than the sonic talents of many new species. After the neighing sound sounded, tens of millions of snakes around them also raised their heads to look at the top of this sacred mountain. All the snakes felt their king's fighting and killing intent, and immediately started to neigh. The roars of countless snakes resounded throughout India in an instant. Except for India, on the only snow mountain in the tropical rainforest, a towering tree that is nearly 2,000 meters tall is rooted in the center of this snow mountain. This is a big banyan tree that has grown for who knows how many years before the world changed. Now the trunk and vines of this big banyan tree have a light brown oil color fluorescence. Even if it is not actively running, it still emits this kind of energy fluorescence. Because this banyan tree is a mutated creature, it far exceeds the pure energy contained in the body of alien beasts of the same level. Now the pure energy contained in its body has surged to the point of being uncontrollable. Even this banyan tree can no longer be called a banyan tree. Its crisscrossing vines are countless, and its length seems to be endless. In addition, there are countless human skins and skins of other species on the branches of this huge banyan tree, and these skins were filled with pure energy, becoming full fruits growing on the branches. It's just that the heads on these skins have tiny vines, connected to the heart of the banyan tree, as if they are absorbing wisdom from countless heads that should not belong to the mutated plants. Now this towering tree covered with skins sensed something, and countless vines shot up into the sky. The longest vine was more than 800 miles long, rolled up thousands of layers of snow, and shot straight into the sky. Wow! Countless branches are also shaking, and the various skins on the branches also made various sounds. Kill. Everything fights for crossing. Fighting for crossing. Roar. Chirp. Hiss. Squeak. Various sounds were mixed together, converging into a series of magical sounds that echoed throughout the equatorial snow-capped mountains. And in the boundless deep sea of the Arctic Ocean, a huge creature that was 600 to 700 meters long and covered with coral suddenly opened its eyes. It can feel that between heaven and earth, there is a will awakening and whispering that is so powerful that it cannot be matched. Even with its almost monstrous strength, under this whisper, it could feel the blood in its body stirring and boiling. Wow! This 600 to 700 meter long king squid shook violently all over, shaking off the coral completely, and then its countless tentacles stirred up the seawater into huge waves. Each tentacle is extremely powerful, and the violent undercurrent it brings can crush all the species in this sea area. Even a group of alien killer whales passing by along the way turned into minced meat and blood. The energy in this giant squid's body exploded instantly. Then, as if it had escaped the restrictions of species, the speed became extremely fast, following the violent undercurrent from the deep sea to the sea level. Bang! With a loud noise, the giant squid directly broke through the thick ice. The ugly head and huge eyes also burst out with dozens of meters of dark blue fluorescence looking into the sky. Dahui, in a huge cave in the Nanjing Mountains, Su Lin, who had just enhanced his curse talent to S+ level, suddenly felt something. Before he could appreciate the latest effect of the curse talent, he burst out at peak speed and arrived at the top of Mount Srail as if teleporting. Activate your extreme vision and powerful original power, and look up to the sky. At the same time, not only are the tyrannical mutated creatures restless, but also some strange events are happening in various places around the world. The totem statue that had been enshrined in the Beizu Guangming sect's main hall, for who knows how many years, suddenly exuded the Golden King's brilliance and enveloped the entire main hall. The believers and godfathers who were kneeling and praying were stunned by this scene. They didn't know what was happening. They just thought that their sincere prayers finally moved their Lord. Countless people hurriedly knelt on the ground to express their most loyal beliefs. The ancient and holy Jerusalem has a shadow of an angel flashing over the city. Everyone felt the sacred and majestic vast aura. This aura was so strong that they could not even look up. But relying on their deep intuition, many new humans who have unlocked their genetic shackles know that there is definitely a miracle happening in the world. Jerusalem, holy place. Theological Union. This makes no. Several believers who have joined the Theological Alliance are even more convinced in their hearts that the future belongs to the world of theology. The believers of the Theological Alliance began to recite the Bible they recited in their hearts devoutly. In the Kunlun Mountains, a huge golden compass rose into the sky and enveloped the entire mountain range. In the northwest Kinling Mountains, when a mountain climber passed by somewhere, he seemed to hear bursts of shouting and killing sounds rising from the sky. In the Egyptian pyramid, the eyes of the eternally motionless Sphinx suddenly burst out with golden light, and even a miserable scream came from inside the pyramid. I'm working overtime again. Sorry, I really have a headache. I'll try to stay up late and write more. I will slowly introduce you to the details about the mysterious power, the Dark Era, and the struggle for hegemony among all races later. If you don't understand, you can wait until later. Look, when something strange happens everywhere, unimaginable changes are also taking place in the mysterious icebergs in the far north. The ice sculpture of the goddess that was originally full of cracks and incomplete parts has now been mostly completed. The ice sculpture also exudes holy fluorescence. Countless ice crystal monsters and ice crystal birds are hauling living or dead creatures, offering sacrifices to the ice sculpture of the goddess. The flesh, blood, and souls of these creatures melted strangely as soon as they touched the holy fluorescence of the goddess ice sculpture, turning into drops of blood red essence that flew to the goddess ice sculpture. With the addition of drops of blood red essence, the goddess ice sculpture became more lifelike, and the incomplete eyes seemed to be alive. Just at this moment, The originally calm goddess ice sculpture suddenly felt something. A white holy fluorescence suddenly emitted directly through the mysterious iceberg, standing in the far north as if it reached the sky and the earth. And with the gentle vibration of the goddess ice sculpture, there was also a will that ordinary species could not feel at all, but was extremely vast and unparalleled, and instantly spread throughout the entire mysterious iceberg. This vast and unparalleled will makes all species in the mysterious iceberg look here, strive for crossing, fight for crossing. This is the mighty soul explosion coming from the vast and incomparable will. That is to say, after the soul explosion, the other two corners of the mysterious iceberg also had boundless tyrannical auras that instantly rose up, resisting this unparalleled will. Then the goddess ice sculpture emitted an extremely bright white light. This white light shrouded the giant iceberg lotus and many exotic flowers and plants under the white fluorescence. They seemed to have been given a catalyst and began to grow extremely rapidly. The roots, branches, leaves and flowers of the already extremely huge iceberg lotus all became even larger. Even the icy air on the white iceberg lotus is heavier, almost condensing into ice. The thick ice-cold air is rotating with the huge petals of the iceberg lotus. The power contained in this ice-cold air is almost like splitting the air. These many exotic flowers and plants have also begun their craziest growth. Countless branches, leaves and vines instantly spread to the surroundings with the ice crystal statue as the center. The many canny mountain wolves, who felt the familiar breath of the goddess ice sculpture, all stopped what they were doing, and then they ran towards the ice palace with incomparable enthusiasm in their eyes. The strongest canny mountain wolf king, the strongest at the head, happened to catch up with the rich white light when he ran into the ice palace. The afterglow of the white light also completely poured into the body of the canny mountain wolf. This abundant, pure and powerful energy almost burst the canny mountain wolf, but in the end, as the ice crystal statue shook slightly, the pure and abundant energy seemed like a sheep. The canny mountain wolf king has become extremely docile in its body, and is only rapidly increasing its strength. The huge increase in strength caused the canny mountain wolf's bones, skin, cells, and organs to grow at a crazy speed. This unprecedented surge in strength has brought the consciousness of the canny mountain wolf king to a standstill, but the genetic chain is still mutating and evolving under the catalysis of abundant energy. Various unusual movements around the world brought out unparalleled energy fluctuations, destroying all nearby electromagnetic waves and signal towers. The Starlink network, which was originally able to monitor most areas around the world, suddenly lost its signal in many areas. At this moment, the satellite monitoring departments of all the major forces were still unaware of what had happened, and they all looked so shocked that they didn't know why. Some of them thought it was a computer or circuit failure, so they restarted the computer network and notified the maintenance department to check the circuit, because they could not imagine that there would be energy fluctuations that could instantly destroy the signal network in a region. It is also unimaginable that once the foresight and positioning functions of the Starlink network are lost, the offensive and defensive situation between humans and mutant creatures will be reversed. After all, many of humanity's truly top technologies still rely on the Starlink network. At this time, after the changes in major areas, the signal at the Science Alliance headquarters was not greatly interfered. The satellite is still locked on the nearby Speedy Golden Eagle. The live webcast screen also switched to a satellite photo of the spacecraft. Just when the spacecraft completely broke out of the atmosphere, all the humans in front of the various screens couldn't help but heave a sigh of relief. But no one could have imagined that just as the spacecraft broke out of the atmosphere, an indescribably vast black fluorescence suddenly flashed across the edge of the outer space of the Earth. This black fluorescence directly envelopes the entire Earth. Many areas that were still sunny in daytime suddenly became dark. Whether it is the Western Hemisphere or the Eastern Hemisphere, night seems to have become an eternal theme. But before everyone could panic, everyone in front of the live broadcast discovered that the spacecraft hit the black fluorescent surface, just like a drop of water hitting a towering mountain. Even though the spacecraft had the strongest protective power in human history, it instantly turned into a ball of fire. The brainchild of all the top scientists of the Science Alliance, and all the hopes that mankind has been waiting for, were completely destroyed in this ball of fire. This left countless people stunned in front of the screen, and their minds were in chaos, because everything that happened made them unable to turn around. After the spacecraft was completely destroyed, satellite network signals around the world were completely blocked in the black fluorescence. Then, the indescribable whispers between heaven and earth became louder and louder, so loud that many beings, who had just entered the world destruction level and half-step world destruction level, heard it. At this time, Su Lin, who was standing on the top of Mount Srail, looked at the sky as dark as ink, which had covered the entire world's fluorescence. He could feel the terrifying power contained in this black fluorescence. With such power, even if he mobilizes all his trump cards, and even burns out his life source, he still won't be able to withstand the next blow. And he had heard this whisper between heaven and earth more than once. It's just that the first 2 times were in the transformation between life and death, so I thought it was my illusion. Evolution of life. New species and new power. Genetic evolution and all things fighting for survival. Dimensional transcendence protects freedom. This whisper between heaven and earth resonates with the entire earth. At this moment, Su Lin's eyes were extremely solemn. The will of the earth. This dark fluorescence covering the entire earth is probably the embodiment of the will of the earth. The evolution of life is presumably driven by the will of the earth. Life evolves, all things strive for survival. Every new era will compete for a new era overlord. But even Solin doesn't know why the earth's will is doing this. Promote the birth and reproduction of better genes among major species, or for what? But Solin only knows that his evolution has nothing to do with mysterious power. What he is doing is devouring all things. And what he is doing is genetic transformation. It's just that his path is obviously more difficult than the paths taken by other species. Only massive evolution values and genetic fragments can spur him to keep moving forward on this road. But fortunately, with every transformation and promotion, the strength he gained was simply unmatched by other species. Su Lin, who is now in his 30s, has attributes that can rival those of level 60 or 70 mutants. This is the difference between the two. Even Su Lin himself has a hard time imagining what level of combat power he will reach once he reaches the top. As Sulin's thoughts were racing, the dark fluorescent light that covered the entire Earth gradually disappeared after blocking the spacecraft that was about to fly out, and the vast whispers between heaven and earth, as the dark ink-like fluorescence disappeared, became smaller and smaller, and finally became too weak to be heard. After everything disappeared, signals were restored to signal towers in human areas, where electromagnetic waves had not been washed away. But the dark scene just now left everyone with irreparable fear. Many people are in front of various network devices, and have not yet come to their senses. Some people were so frightened that they were muttering to themselves in a daze. Even some strong-willed new humans clenched their fists tightly, trying to stabilize their emotions. The top leaders of the major human forces, and many top professors from the Scientific Alliance also remained silent, although after so many years of research, they have already had a deep understanding of the era after the great changes in the world. But the black fluorescent light that covered the sky and sun appeared out of thin air, which was beyond Evrion's imagination. However, the testing equipment under the Science Alliance and the scientific research institutions under the major forces have already passed on reports. The moment the black fluorescence appeared, equipment everywhere detected extremely rich mysterious power. Is that dark ink-like fluorescence the will of the earth? But why does the will of the earth want to block the earth? Can't we humans leave a trace of fire behind? At this time, looking at the display on the testing instrument, an old professor who specialized in the study of mysterious powers couldn't help but raise his head and look at the sky from the window, his eyes filled with shocked murmurs. But no one can answer him. Those who can answer him are evil beings that the current human technological killing weapons can never reach. And after this scene of darkness and fluorescent lights that blocked out the sky, human society also entered an era of unspeakable fear. Many people fully realize that this era is no longer an era in which science can explain and protect mankind. Therefore, many civil forces and small forces that were still wavering have made up their minds and joined the Theological Alliance. Some people who are unwilling to surrender to the Theological Alliance and believe that science cannot protect mankind have set their sights on Arctic wolves. After all, this is the only group of alien beasts that embraces all rivers and treats humans favorably, especially with the world-destroying level Arctic wolf king sitting in charge. Therefore, many humans and new humans are also coming to the wolves from various regions. As for the destruction of the human fire carried by the spacecraft, it has been suppressed by the shock of black fluorescence that covers the entire Earth. Not many people are paying attention to spaceships, because after the sky-like black fluorescence appears, it means that no spacecraft can break out of the blockade and leave the Earth. At this time, all major forces and civil forces are looking for their own way out. A few days later, humanity will spaceship. The day of crash and black sky was named Dark Day, also known as Dark Day. Not only is it describing the bankruptcy of the human civilization fire project, but it is also describing the fact that black fluorescence blocks the sky and the sun. After this day, the Science Alliance and the major human forces held many online summit meetings before finally determining the future course of mankind. Since mankind's plan to send the spark of civilization went bankrupt, it means that in order to survive and continue to extend civilization, mankind has no choice but to fight to the end with all major ethnic groups. Therefore, the Science Alliance and the major forces have unanimously decided to take advantage of this last period of time to rapidly advance the research and development of many projects and also actively build the underground Great Wall and the strongest fortress. After the advent of the Doomsday Era, this will be the greatest guarantee for human beings to survive and fight against mutated creatures.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.